This is the It's Time to Refresh podcast with Brad Riffresh, the podcast about life, music, traveling, shit, literal shit that is, and weird and wacky stories with Brad, and a range of guests from the planet Earth. Feel free to share the pod with your pals, your mom, your neighbor's dog, or even your shrink. It's all fun. You can follow our Facebook group called It's Time to Refresh Community, or It's Time to Refresh on Instagram. Write into the pod, ask questions, and share your stories. Enjoy the pod.
Hey kid, what time is that?
It's time to refresh.
Back once again with another podcast. This is episode 39, I believe, if I remember rightly. And we've got the man like glove box on, Mikey G. Mikey G, Michael Glover, the glove man.
The glove.
Yeah.
Glove.
Do you know, honestly, like, it's madness. Like, I've knew him for a few years now. Like before you went into like production and fucking everything, and you were just going out.
Fucking shit combination, fucking 19 volts.
Yeah.
2015.
And honestly, like, as soon as I met him, I met you in this was a smoking area. The fucking
The smoking area sort of downstairs, wasn't it, outside?
yeah. And honestly, I just buzzed off you straight away. Like, you're right into the music and all that shit.
Yeah.
Like, he actually knew what tunes were and stuff.
Well, I knew you were as well.
Oh, right.
I thought you was a Geordie, didn't I? Because when you spoke, I was like, "You from Newcastle?" You went, "No, I'm from Cumbria." Or whatever. I was like, "Right, you sound the same to me."
But fucking, I'm buzzing to have you on, to be honest with you, because you're just a proper character within the bouncing. Like, it's right though, innit? So how you doing, mate? Do you want to like? We'll address that elephant in the room as well. I've came down to Warrington today, and when I went to like Channick Richard Services, I thought I'll give him a message and that to make sure he's up. No answer, so I'm fucking message Carl, and then Carl rings me like, "Have you not heard what's happened to Glove?" I was like, "Nope." It's class, innit? It's class. What the fuck? Oh, he's in hospital. He's fucking smashed his head like last night. I'm like, oh my god. And it's like I said to you when I came here, I was thinking to myself, is this going to be like the first dead guest that there's been? Do you know what I mean? Like, where you've turned up and like, oh, fucking R.I.P. Glover. Like,
nah, you can't kill me off, mate. I'm indestructible.
Yeah,
but no, I probably had a bit too much to drink, and then apparently I fell over.
So go on, start from the beginning. What happened last night?
Like, basically, we just went out, watched boxing, whatever. And just fucking end up getting right amongst it, as you do. And then, although I've got out of a taxi, took him home, and then woke up in hospital. I don't know how much time has passed or anything, but I was just confused as fuck, so completely out of it. And apparently some girl has found me on the floor, and she's recognised me off Facebook or something like that, and she's messaged all my mates. Saying, right. Do you know Mike, banged his head? I was like, I don't fucking remember banging it.
So can you remember the last?
No, I don't know fucking anything. I can just about remember getting out of the taxi.
Right.
And then I was sat on the floor.
Oh man.
Right, so yeah, and then next minute I was like, I come round a bit in the ambulance. Didn't know what the fuck was going on, so I kind of got my head back down.
Class. So what's like fucking, like, when did you get out of hospital?
I'm guessing about 3 o'clock this morning.
Oh, right. Nice one. But fucking...
I just discharged myself because obviously I've come round.
And you think I've got a podcast to do?
Yeah. You know what I mean? You make an effort, mate.
Definitely.
But it's not like, I just said to him, I was like, why am I here? And I couldn't really understand what they were saying, so I must have still been a bit confused or whatever.
Yeah.
And he said, is there anything wrong with me? And he went, no. I went, well, can I discharge myself? And I went, yeah. Sign this. So I signed the discharge form and fucking sent me on my way.
Class.
Don't know, messaged you. And then I've fucking woke up to a load of commotion on Facebook.
I'd use the term message loosely, like you literally put I fucking backspace 4 and I'm like, I have no idea what that means, but I
don't know.
Class. So we'll sort of get started with your story.
Yep.
I just want to say as well, I've just got back off holiday, so this is my first episode of the year.
Nice.
The rest of them has been sort of just before Christmas. I know it sort of ruins the thing that I bring them out every week, but yeah, first episode of 2023, so yeah, and it's Maggie G.
Pretty low expectations.
Well, I just thought if I get you on, the only way is up. I'm only joking. I'm only joking, mate. I'm only joking.
Worst guest ever.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Nah, so yeah, I've been on holiday. I was telling you off pod. There was a couple of things I wanted to mention. I didn't tell you about this one. So I've been to Florida, and it was like weird. Like I thought Americans were just like us, but lived in a sunnier place. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, it doesn't make. I know it sounds stupid when you say it, but I just thought, oh, they're just like normal fucking idiots like us. But it turns out they're much weirder, much weirder. I was in a Denny's, like fucking.
Yeah, I've heard of them. Yeah.
Oh, class food, by the way, I must say. But I was proper needing the shit like bad.
Again.
Right? Again, yeah, obviously. So then I went to the toilet. I don't usually use public toilets, but they're a bit cleaner there because they've got somebody constantly cleaning them. Anyways, I was doing the toilet there, and for some reason, I think it's like for meth heads. So basically, like the toilet doors and the surrounding cubicle bit is much higher.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, like you can look under it and you can see people's legs and everything like that. Like, and anyways, there was only one toilet, and I just like fucking started doing the toilet, and there's this guy with fucking socks and sandals on, put his feet right underneath the doors so I could see his toes and that. And like his face must have been like that against the door, and I was just like, "You all right?" And he went, "I need the toilet. No, I need to use the bathroom." And I was like, "Okay, I won't be long." And he's there with his fucking toes underneath the thing, and it was only like when I flushed the toilet and stuff like that, I opened up the door and it was only then he stepped back, and I was just like, "This is weird as fuck." Like,
That's a bad invasion of your privacy. That
he wasn't looking over or anything like that. He just must have had his face against the door, like weird as fuck.
I don't know.
Anyways, we'll sort of get started with your story. I just wanted to explain how weird fucking Florida was.
No, I'd love to go to America, but I don't know if I'd be into it, like, because I know it can be weird.
Yeah.
And, well, I'm fucking weird anyway, like, but
Yeah.
I don't know, it's like, I want to go, but I'm kind of off put as well. I don't know.
Their humour's quite different to ours as well. Like, I was there and I was just like do you know when you say something and you'd be like sarcastically?
Yeah.
And like, but like, you just, there's a bit of a laugh between like strangers. And I got like such funny looks when I would say things, like when I would say, right, so like, I went to, what is it, one of the Disney parks. It's where like Simpsons Land is. So like I was in one of the
sick. I'm
class.
going American.
Class.
Yeah.
But I was there and I was just like, I went to buy one of them like big giant pink donuts that they have on it, class, just as a thing. It was only like $10 or whatever. And I went to get it, and then I was there and I was just paying for it, and I just like made a passing comment of, "Oh, see you later," like, "Thank you, see you later." And he goes, "Are you? What? Sorry?" And he went, "See me later." And I went, No, it's kind of phrase, mate. Sorry, bye. And it was just like you only realise how different we are when you're there. There's loads of little things like that. Yeah. Anyways, like I said, to your story, I'm fucking chatting shit. So I met you sort of 2015, was it?
Yeah.
Would it have been that?
Yeah.
Was that you just starting to get into like the scene and that, really?
The scene. Yeah. Obviously, I listened to it since I was a kid.
What was the? Where are you from originally?
Winsford. It's literally like in Warrington now, but it's literally like 20 minutes, half an hour down the road. It's just a little fucking parcel town, really.
Is it a big scene?
I think I'm only 28, so obviously I don't know from fucking years and years ago. Cause when it was really big, I was only a fucking little kid.
Yeah.
But I know there was a club. What was it called? I can't remember the name of the club, but Joe Taylor used to play there.
Right.
And apparently a few of the peer DJs did this club, Liquid Lounge, that's what it's called.
Liquid Lounge,
Yeah,
right.
it's fucking, the building is still there, because the guy, like, it's been derelict for fucking years, but the guy, like, refuses to give up on it.
Right.
And it's been a brass house, it's been a smack, then it's been all sorts since, but the building's still there.
Is that when Joe played?
Probably, yeah.
That one, joking, Joe.
But so obviously I'm just putting 2 and 2 together. I'm guessing there was quite a big following for it because, like I say, how big Peer was, and stuff like that. And there was always, like, when I was in fact, I started listening to it when I was in primary school.
Right. So how did you discovering it? Like, are your mates listening to it?
I think what got me into it, like dance music, I'd say was Pretty Green Eyes.
Right.
Because
like
I heard
everyone.
I heard that on the telly. When did that come out? 2002.
Yeah, I think so.
I'd have been 7 or 8, and I was like, whoa, like, it's different, I like this. And then there was another one they done with the Darren Styles. What was it called?
Disco Lights.
Yeah, that one, like, because it's got the big happy piano in it. I was like, whoa, I really like that.
That was a bit later on, that wasn't it? I think.
I think it was saying, yeah.
What? No, I'm sure. I thought that came out like 2007. 2007, 2008.
I don't.
I might be wrong.
I don't know. They're just 2 sort of standout tunes that I can remember.
Someone will correct me in the comments, as they always do, because it. I thought it was like 2007, 2008.
When all that sort of stuff was like big on telly,
Yeah.
right? And then it just kind of progressed into bounce, really. Like I say, like we used to play football, and my mate had, I think it was LimeWire,
Right.
or one of them sort of sites. And he used to get loads of different pleasure rings and killer combo things off there and that.
So who was the first like MC that you heard, for instance?
Roach,
Roach.
I think, yeah. It was Killer Combo 4. That's like what proper got me into it, because it was the first time I did MC other than biddy fucking shit.
Yeah.
And they had Culver. Yeah, Culver was on it as well. And like we had this. It was, in fact, I'm that sad. I know what it is. It's track 4. It was Angel in My Heart.
Tune.
And it's like they're just fucking going in on it. I was like, what, like it's a bit of me, this, like.
Class.
But I didn't have a clue what it was. So then I just followed like Killer Combo.
Yeah.
And then Frequency. Like I cottoned on to Finchy and Frequency and all that, and then I didn't get like the actual Peer stuff. I didn't get onto that till actually quite a bit later.
So you've came in a different way to everyone else, really. Like, because when you hear people's stories, it's always like, oh, I listen to Peer CDs, I listen to like Clublandia stuff. Like, sort of people around our age, anyways. I'm a bit younger than you, like, but and it's like, and then it's progressed into the underground where you start discovering the likes of Frequencies and like Killer Combos, and it's like less vocals and more like hard hitting stuff. But you've went the other way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's just purely because of what I had access to.
Yeah.
Or what I was shown, if you know what I mean. Like, obviously you find one, and this is when YouTube was in its infancy.
Yeah.
And obviously everyone was putting fucking clips up like MC5 becoming Sicko, MC Finchy.
Yeah, it was always like stupid. It's like I remember like tunes like MC Arky, sick tune, like do you know like stuff like that, like proper.
And they'd always have a picture of a fucking citron saxo on it.
Or Ganjali.
Ganjali.
MC Finchy, sick tune, Ganjali.
Yeah, that's what it is, isn't it?
Finchy's ever smoked weed in his life.
Oh, by the way, we've got Easy in the background just in case you wonder who it is. But it was always something dead set, or it'd be like something where it's like near enough like nude women, but just enough that it didn't get like taken down. Do you know what I mean? It's like showing a bit of nipple, but not the whole nipple.
It's always in fact, there's one. Oh, what was it? I think it might have been a Strictly Vibes or something. You'll probably know what I'm on about. It was a fucking. It was really shit. It's just like a really bad stock image, but it's like a bird in like a bikini smoking a fucking spliff with a big ganja leaf behind her, and it was like.
Of its time.
It was like MCB fucking something or other, and I was like...
Of its time, mate. It's of its time. I think a lot of people... Even flyers used to look like that. You look at some old flyers and it was like half-naked birds and then DJs underneath.
And the big speaker ball.
Yeah. So go on then. Yeah. So from school, are you getting into DJing, or are you just a listener?
I was just a listener. I wouldn't... Well... you know when you do your options in year 10, 11?
No, is it not year 9, is it?
Well, you pick
your-
them in year 9,
All right,
yeah.
so okay, so you
Yeah.
picked your options.
Yeah, and I weren't interested in music in school. Like, I
Yeah.
fucking hated lessons, so I thought, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do PE and try to play footy all the time, basically. And then, like, my mate, there was 2, they'd done music, technology, and just music.
Right,
And obviously, I didn't know at the time, but the music technology was more production based.
right.
And my mate, and you got a free instrument lesson, and he started doing DJing lessons, and my mate got onto it.
Right. Is he a DJ now?
I don't know. I've not seen him for years.
Oh.
I know he's still proper into his music, like, because he was into all trance and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he liked the bounce stuff. Like, there was, you know, we didn't know what it was called at the time, but it's Total Control. Oh fucking hell! What's the? What's the tune called? I can't remember. It's a Total Control tune anyway.
Right.
Like, and we tried. It was on the Killer Combo CD, and me and my mate like, oh yeah, like, we're trying to make this. In fact, this is just a bit before the options, and we were like, we're trying to make this. But obviously, we didn't have a clue what we were fucking doing.
Yeah.
So then, I sacked all the music stuff off, and then he started doing his DJ lessons because it was part of his thing. He was like, oh, like, get onto him. I was like, all right, yeah, so somehow I ended up blagging onto like 3 or 4 of these DJ lessons, and then the school like, I didn't have a fucking clue what I was doing. Like, the guy was like, have you done any DJ? In fact, I had a copy of Virtual DJ on my laptop, and obviously I thought that's what it was. And the guy was like, oh, have you done any DJing before? I was like, yeah, I've got Virtual DJ. He was like, so you've not done any DJing? I was like, yeah, it's called Virtual DJ, innit? So that's DJing. And he was like, you seen his arse me a bit, and I don't know why, but I didn't get into it or anything like that.
Yeah.
And the school cottoned on to the fact that I was basically coming out of lessons when I shouldn't have been.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they were like, if you can do them, but you're going to have to pay. And my mum didn't want to pay for them. So,
I know what you mean.
um,
So from there, like, where have you gone from here? So obviously, it doesn't sound like there's much going on with the music and that around you.
no, it's just, I don't know, I'll just listen to it.
Have you seeked it out then? Like, you've obviously...
Yeah, sort of like, I've figured out I liked it.
Yeah.
And then I've just kind of just listened to it, and then I'll try and find whatever I can. But I didn't know, like this basically sums it all up. You know when you get like these tracks, what was on about on YouTube, I didn't know they were actually recordings from
A mix or a live set or something.
I didn't know they were actual recordings from live nights
Yeah.
or anything like that. So I just thought that's how it was, you know what I mean? And then it just, I don't know, it's kind of spawned from there. And then I actually went off the music for a few years. When I was like, I think 15, 16 something.
Is this your goth era where you were a fucking...
Yeah, well, I used to ride a BMX and everyone thinks I'm a goth. Because of it.
I'm joking, mate, I know.
But I was listening to I still listen to it now, like Biggie Smalls, loads of grime stuff, like hip hop stuff, and then
I've seen the pictures you put up, right, and you're not a goth, I was only joking.
No, I know.
You're more, what we call, I want to rate a townie. Like, the
know.
kids you would see in town just around on bikes and shit.
I was just like, I was just a little chavvy, fucking, like, I don't know, I don't even know how to describe myself.
Chavvy
like,
goth.
And then, just a shabby goth. But when I started going college, this is when, like, fucking, do you remember Towie?
Yeah,
right.
Is that Joey Essex?
Yeah,
Right, okay, yeah.
Right, all my mates just that, because obviously when you get into that sort of age, that's when you start fucking learning about girls properly and stuff like that. So when I was like, well, as you've seen the pictures, I used to have a big fucking massive moped, didn't I? And that's purely because I couldn't be asked to go and get my haircut for 2 years.
Yeah.
So then when I went to college, and I see, you know, like, well, especially my mates, and they're all getting these fucking fancy haircuts and stuff like that.
Like come over.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
And they're wearing like fucking Hollister t-shirts, all that fucking Rihanna one, fucking top man.
So what? Yeah, this must be what 2012.
Yeah, 2011, 2012.
Right, yeah. Because the way you describe and what everything going on, it's the sort of era I'm picturing.
Yeah, and then I just went. So I kind of like, I'm easily led anyway. He'll fucking tell you that.
Yeah.
But so I just went right. Well, I'm going to start doing what they do. And then, so no originality to it or anything. It's like, oh, well, they wear Vans trainers and that. I'm going to start wearing Vans trainers and all that. So I started doing that. I still rode the BMX. And then, like, music, I don't know. I think I still listen to it a little bit.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But this is when, like, Avicii and Martin Garrix, like, just started blowing up. So
Yeah.
we was listening to, like, a lot of EDM. I didn't know it was EDM.
Yeah.
But we was listening to a lot of that. And then I kind of got back into bounce because of that.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Because I'd see, like, a remix. Or, like, say like Avicii remix or something. I'd listen and it'd be a fucking donk one. I was like, it's actually alright there. So I kind of stumbled back into the music.
Yeah.
So
what's this, like 2013 at this point, or something like that?
I'd still say 2012.
Right.
2012, 2013. Still, I had no aspirations to make music, to be a DJ or fucking anything. I was just quite happily listening to it.
Yeah.
Or even going to events, because I didn't take drugs back then. I didn't really drink back then.
Yeah.
Well, I smoked weed, but that was it. Like, I didn't like drinking or anything. And then this one night, I went to this house party. I don't know why I went to house party, because I was never one of them people. And they were all bounce heads and whatever, and they had these little fucking shitty set of decks with a mic plugged in. And I thought, yeah, if I listen to this sort of stuff, I can MC me. So I just thought, like, I just started the worst MCing ever. Like, not much has changed. I was just ripping off fucking Shredder.
Yeah.
Like, thinking I was the fucking man or whatever. And then I just ended up getting really fucking stoned. And it was when there was a big, this 2014, and there was a big Dose of Donk event on at Pure. And I was like, fuck me, yeah, I like Dose of Donk. In fact, yeah, rewind a bit. It's proper tangent central. He's partially what got me properly into it.
Right.
Because I heard Dose of Donk Volume 7.
Right.
And because it was a studio CD, and it all sounded fucking
clear.
Yeah. And I was like, and him, because the thing I listened to is one of his lyrics, and I was like, this sounds different. Like, and how he was MCing and the tunes that were being played, I was like, I really fucking like this. So then I start fucking, well, he knows fucking, I'm Dose of Donk's biggest fanboy. So it's like, I know all the CDs, and like, if he ever needs a tune or something, or wants to remember an old lyric, he comes to me, because I know it all.
And what, and then you sit there and recite you?
Yeah, like, I probably know more of his rhymes than he does. Like, that's how sad I am with it. But
it makes sense if you enjoy it and all that, you know what I mean?
But yeah, and then...
So you went to this Dose of Donk event. Was this...
No, I didn't actually go. Like, we just end up... You know when you become best mates with everyone? When you've had a bit of a drink and whatever. Right? And then at this party, I just had like 4 cans of Fosters and just got really fucking stoned. And then, because they were all on about going, I was like, yeah, I want to go. Like, I like Dose of Donk, whatever. And then I had like him, where he twisted. Basically, I had them all on Facebook because I was a fanboy. And then I'd seen all the hype for this thing. I was like, yeah, let's go to this event. And I didn't even know if it was going to happen. It didn't. But then, I don't know, it kind of...
Am I right in thinking this was this the one we talked about, the one when it was the calf, and it was it Monroe's versus Dose of Donk? Or over Dose of Donk, or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Right, okay, so I've got a sort of time frame when you start to step into it now, sort of thing, do you know what I mean?
And then after that, because it was one of them, like, because I was still in Winsford at the time, like, I didn't know where fucking Wigan was, or anything like that, so I was a bit put off by the thought of, well, not put off, but like, because I've never really done anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it just seemed a bit alien to me, and I was a bit, want of a better phrase, a bit of a rabbit in the headlights with it. Like, I wanted to go, but I don't know. because I've been to like under 18s raves and stuff. Because in fact, this is a good story. MCB is MC'd in my school.
In your school?
Yes. I swear to God, right, he still remembers it as well. They used to, right, do you remember back in, this is 2006, I was in my first year of high school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This
is Glover's claim to fame.
Yeah.
It's
right.
like, MC'd in my school.
Yeah. No, it is literally, right. They fucking... right. We did, we had like a big assembly. Like, just like the second week of me starting high school. So when you're in year 7 and they're constantly getting put in assemblies, aren't you?
Yeah.
So they can tell you what's what. And they did this thing once. And like they had in the fucking hall or wherever it was, like this big stage set up, a load of fucking lights and a foam cannon and shit like that. I didn't have a clue what it was, right?
Yeah.
They started playing it. I don't know who the DJ was, but I know it was MCB, JFMC and Paulo H.
Right.
Right. And he started blasting out his tunes of fucking MCing and like throwing stuff at us and whatever.
What stuff for us?
I don't know what I can't remember. I can just remember it, and I was like, but because it was all scouse and bouncy and stuff, I was like, that music I like, and it's like in my school. I was like, what the fuck? And then it turns out this is back in the days when when you used to have agencies would put events on.
Yeah.
Or like a booking agency and stuff like that, right? It was basically a promotion like that through an agency. And they started putting these on, I think they were either under 18s or under 16s when they were based in the town hall.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's like 6 till 10 or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And it was basically, they were called Frenzy, and they were all over, like, them little towns, like Winsford.
Okay, I can remember seeing flyers for them years ago.
And there's still videos from on YouTube and that. And it's basically a watered down pleasure rooms, like, event. And, like, I remember going to them.
What were they like? Any good?
I can't remember. I can remember going and having a good time, but I can't remember fucking...
What was happening?
Yeah,
So,
it's like, this is what I mean, like, because like, I was into the music, but I wasn't...
paying attention, you were just going for more for a good time sort of thing.
Yeah. Like, the only thing that stands out is the fact from it is getting blasted in the face with a foam cannon and like swallowing like loads of fairy liquid. But, yeah, but that was like, I don't know, that was a proper tangent, but yeah.
It reminds me of like when we were young, we used to go to the under 18s nights in there was a couple of clubs that used to do it, but there was like the spot called Fusion in our area.
Is that the proper Fusion?
The one that we're on about. And I remember this was a weird one, but it's like 2008, 2009, and I'm sure it was like fucking, I can't remember the exact line, but it could be crossing two days over, but it was either like blackout, right, or like a pleasure rooms set or something. I can't remember what it was. It was like someone from our scene, right, and then the main headline act for the under 18s event was can you remember Chipmunk?
Yeah.
It was Chipmunk, and then supported by like, I don't know, say pleasure rooms. Like it was just fuck. Yeah, I know, but obviously as you're a kid, as you say, CO2 cannons and all that in the it was fucking different. It was different.
It was like I said, in fact, Finchy done a couple of them. I know that much because I think they did them once a month, or it might have been last Friday of every month.
Yeah.
Like, it was like £8 for a ticket. You could get the tickets in school through the office or whatever, or if you just went to the town hall to get it, and then it died off because I think they were either renovating or knocking down the town, like the Civic Hall. And then they built a brand new leisure centre, and it had a big fucking hall in it. So they rebranded the things from Frenzy. I can't remember what they called it, changed it to, but they rebranded. I remember them putting all the flyers out, and the headline was Finchy. I think this is like 2008, I want to say. And I remember one of my mates in school, he was like, oh, MC, like there's a little hotel in Winsford, it's not a hotel, it's B&B. He was like, oh, MC Finchy's staying at the Winsford Lodge, and everyone was like buzzing about it. He wasn't because he could drive and whatever, but I just remember this being a big fucking hype about the Finchy, but like allegedly staying at this B&B in Winsford. But
Class. So you were saying about you were friends with say like fucking Easy and that on Facebook, and you sort of this is when you've seen these Door Stonk events and that on, when was the first event that you went to?
The first ever event I went to, proper event I went to was, I moved to Chorley because I had a bit of a fallout with my mum, as per. And then I realised, like, it clicked in my head. Obviously, like, I didn't know fucking. Oh no, I moved to Chorley. Like, initially it was supposed to be 2 weeks just to get out of my mum's hair, like to go with my dad, whatever. And then because my dad used to do lorry driving, and he'd like, I was on the road with him for 2 weeks, and obviously having conversations. I was like, Dad, could I live with you? And he was like, yeah, I've got no problem with it. So I basically just ended up moving in with him after that. I didn't have no fucking person in Chorley or anyone like that. And then it clicked in my head that I was near Wigan and Bolton and places like that, and I was like, shit, I'm near these raves now, like, I can go. You know what I mean? And then I ended up getting a job in some warehouse, right? There was this bird there, and she's like quite well, I don't know what's, at the time it seemed like she was quite well known for going to rave and stuff. And I'd seen this event on, it was Jamie Cousins put it on, it was charity night for something. It was at that club in Bolton where I met you.
Right.
And I literally, Debbie Diesel was playing.
Yeah.
But a couple of people that I'd seen on Facebook. I didn't have a clue who they were. Like, I just went with this bird, thinking, I'm fucking in me. Went this rave and I met Philbin for the first time.
Yeah.
And I'd spoke to him on, because by now I did a load of DJs and whatever on Facebook. Like, I was proper into the music.
And you were fanboying everyone.
Yeah. And
Hi mate, love you.
Yeah. And it's one of them, like, I'd probably try and join them banter sometimes when I had no rights joining it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because I've seen them doing it, I thought, well, I like them people, and like.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? Like, but it was a bit weird. Like, I kind of made, like, because I'd seen like Lomo and Phil and all like their group at the time. I'd seen them, and I was like, I want to get in with them. Like, they're cool. You know what I mean?
You're cool, Josh.
Yeah. Well, actually, no. Funnily enough, he's the first person out of the scene that fucking like took me on.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Like, I remember I was working somewhere. Like, I was working night somewhere, and he was booked at this night, and he was like, "Oh, what are you doing tonight?" I was like, "Oh, I'm working, mate." Blah blah. Bear in mind, and it's still in my head. I'm like, "That's fucking MC Easy." Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then.
Trains hard as you can not to recite rhymes to him.
Yeah. I was just like, I know all of your rhymes. But yeah, and then he just reached out to me. He was like, fucking, you know, like, I didn't go to the event, like, but he was like, and he started talking to him more and more.
Yeah.
And then like, I went this random charity night in Bolton, met Phil with, like I say, and then there was an overdose event on the week after. Now, anyone who knows me knows I'm absolutely fucking mad on medicine.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, well, I've gone off it. I wouldn't say I've gone off it. I don't listen to it anywhere near as much as what I used to. But,
yeah.
Like, I don't know, to me it's the best thing ever.
Yeah,
it's fucking, and because I never got to go to the club properly.
Yeah.
Apart from the reunion. Like, the overdose was like the closest thing to it. They'd already put a couple of events on, but because I was still a bit sheepish, so I didn't want to like venture up to Warrington from Chorley, like, without knowing anyone or stuff like that. Right, and then I met Philbin at this event, and he was like, "Oh, you coming overdose next week?" I was like, "Fucking yeah," because I'd see it, and it was like a proper authentic
line up.
Yeah, and I was like, "Yeah, fucking damn right, I'm going that." So I ended up going with some girl that I knew from fucking Winsford. Yeah, because I didn't realise she was into the music, and she was like, we just got talking or whatever. I was like, "Oh, do you want to come this with me?" It's like, "Yeah, I'll come that." So I was like, "Fucking sick, we'll let someone go." I was like, "Sound." We went. It's still one of the best nights I've ever had.
Like, what was it like? Busy?
You know, it locked out in about an hour.
That's
like,
alright then.
It was rammed.
That's good. And where was that at? Sorry.
Right in Warrington. The club was called Rave.
Oh, I remember this. Yeah.
Like, it was. I still remember. I still try and find the flyer every now and then on Facebook, just as a bit of a memory sort of thing, because it had like a silver flyer.
I can remember it. I can remember it. Yeah.
But it was only the second event I went to, and I had a fucking ball. Like,
Was it authentic sort of medicine vibes as well with the MCs and the tunes and stuff like that?
I wish I still had the phone I had, because the amount of videos I got, and there was all stood round the fuck. There's a video, and they had tables like bolted into the thing near the DJ box.
Yeah.
And there was a video. I had a fucking mega video on my phone with MCG, Zach K, Viper, and Keno going fucking sick to some tune, right? But they're all stood round this table. MC and it is fucking class. And Finchy was there as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was like, from that I was like, right, I'm making sure I go to all these events, because this is me.
Class. So then, what was it around this time that I met you?
Yeah. The overdose thing lasted about 2 years.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I met you, I'd say, that night in Bolton. Yeah, I'd seen you. In fact, I still fucking try and pep you about them now. You were doing them mixes, weren't you? All wired.
Yeah.
I did, I was still a bit wet behind the ears with how it all worked and whatever.
Yeah.
But I like them mixes, and they deleted them off SoundCloud. I was like, fuck.
I'll send you them if you want them, mate.
Well, mate, I know they had all like I know this now, because I know the tunes now. But they had all like Shadside and Luke on them, and, like them.
So there's bits and bobs there. I tried to make it a variety sort of thing. So if you listen back to them now, they're of the time. They're not bad. But I tried to, I think I was just too much of a people pleaser then. So I'd play like a bit of hard house, I'd play a bit of Spanish, I'd play a bit of like UK rushy stuff, I'd play a bit of hard bass and like everything in.
There's a bit of proper variation.
Yeah.
To me, like that's how mixes should be. Like, I know what, like, I've just done the production mix, but that's kind of because I'm got to a point now where I kind of have to. Well, I don't have to do it, but I want to do it to
showcase what you're about. Yeah. The thing is though, like with them mixes, it's like they weren't really me as a person. Like they're all tunes I like, but it's not like, do you know what I mean? You like to tell a story with what you do, so it's like when people listen to it, some people won't listen to it because it starts with say a hard house tune, and it's like, it's not for me. I was like, but you like say bumping. And it's like, I do. But you was a hard house. I was like, you listen to one track out of the 15 or whatever.
To be fair, I can't be a bit like that sometimes. Like, but
you've got to be in the mood for stuff, though. Like,
definitely. Like, I don't know. Like, well, this new mix I've done.
Yeah.
I've kind of done it. I didn't plan it, because if you see me post the other day, you'd have seen.
I've seen. Yeah.
But like, I don't ever plan mixes or anything. But I knew I had a plan in my head of how I wanted it to go. So it starts off with only like 140 pumping stuff, gets a bit faster, a bit vocally, like 145, bit vocals. Any tunes that I've made are 145, whatever.
Yeah. Saying that, I just want to sort of thing this here just so other people listen. Go and listen to it, it's quite good. I just want to say you've come on loads as well since you first started sending me stuff. I know there's been a time and obviously you got better and stuff like that, but like your production's better and your actual like music elements are much better than the were. I was like,
it's like the thing, right? I'll always appreciate stuff like that, but what a lot of people don't realise with me is like I've had like a lot of time out of work, and because I've figured out, like, I got into production by accident. Yeah. Like, it was literally just supposed to be a fucking laugh.
Yeah.
And then, like, I kind of... Well, I didn't even figure out what I was doing. I just worked out very, very basics. So I put something up thinking I'm fucking mint. Get a load of shit off fucking whoever. And then it kind of... I didn't intentionally use it to spur me on, but it did. And then, because I've had so much time out of work, I've just... fucking hammered it, you know what I mean? And then, so obviously now, I feel a bit shit saying it, but it's when people say like, oh, like you've got like, you've improved loads or you've got really good. I'm like, well, yeah, like you spend X amount of time out of work and concentrate on something, you will get better at it.
Absolutely,
It's not a dig at people who thingy, but you know what I mean, like.
Well, one thing I do want to say though is I'm very driven by not negativity, but like it's like you say there. I remember when I was first sort of producing some stuff, and it took me literal years to pick it up. I think I started I started producing in a bedroom manner in about 2007. It was like first year of secondary, and I was just like doing bits, and it was just I had no clue about music. I had no clue about production. No one was there to show me because even in YouTube then there was no tutorials or like that. And I was watching, I was doing bits and bobs, and I was like, this sounds sick. Literally, like, but it sounds awful.
Yeah, to you it's sick because it's one of them like it's a weird one. Like it's because you've made it, so it's sort of sentimental.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're attached to it, aren't you?
Yeah. I've got a tune on my fucking hard drive somewhere. It's fucking awful. But at the time,
you're buzzing your tits off with
it. It was literally the best thing I made, even though it's all out of key.
Yeah.
And fucking everything else.
Yeah.
Like, but I shown it to my mate a while ago who's like into the music and stuff. And I was like, because I think I made a tune with him, or I'd just been showing him bits I've made. And I went, right, do you want a proper fucking throwback?
I know what you mean.
And I showed him this tune, he was like, oh, this is shit. I was like, mate, this is fucking awful. Like, because he doesn't understand it all.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, like, fix it, make it good. I was like, I can't remember what I used.
What you did or anything.
I know I made it out of a Vengeance trance pack. Because I just used all the MIDIs out of it and stuff like that. But my mate was like, oh yeah, like fix it, make it. I was like, no, I can't. I cannot remember.
Yeah. The thing is though, you might write it in key and everything now, and the bass line might not sound as good because it's in a different key. But then if you change the melody into the key of the bass line, it might change the whole vibe of it completely. It's like that's how it is.
It's one of them. It's because now obviously I know what I'm doing. Or I think I know what I'm doing. It's like this. What I mean, like one thing that frustrates the fucking life out of me. Right, say you make a tune, it's like more instrumentally, and someone just goes put a vocal in it. Like it, in the way I see it, it doesn't work like that. Like, you can't just fucking lash a vocal into a tune.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Because you need the harmonies and the chords, and you need it all to fit that vocal. And I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a bit of a bitch about it, but I don't know. It's just like it just frustrates me when you make a tune and it's
not
good, yeah. But it's even if it's a good tune without the vocal, and someone goes, "Oh yeah, it needs a vocal." Like no, like I've made it to be instrumental.
Yeah.
If I wanted a vocal,
you'd have done it initially. Yeah. So you were sort of getting into your production stuff and stuff like that. Yeah. But I just wanted to say, like that's what I was saying. Like you've actually come on loads, and I know you're saying about spending time and stuff like that. But sometimes I feel like some people don't want to give the compliment of like they feel like, oh, he's getting better, but they're like, oh, he doesn't deserve the compliment, and it's like do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. It's
like the thing that drove me when I was getting into production and that I didn't do anything worth listening to from say 2007 2008 right up until like 2014 something like that, 2015, and it's like it wasn't until then I was actually like starting to understand how shit worked, because do you know what I mean? And like I remember I used to put stuff up and people would be like, "Ah, shite," I'm like, right. So this is what drives me to do better. Do you know what I mean?
That's it. It's like this is gonna sound proper weird, but like I feel at the minute I'm like really consistent with what I'm doing. I've got no problem saying it because I can in a way back it up, but
it's alright. I'm consistently shit as well. So
no,
I'm only joking.
I at the minute, like, but so everything I put up, it just seems like it is anyway. Everyone's like, yeah, this is sick, and I'm like inside, I'm like fucking criticise it, like tell me what to, you know what I mean? Like, I've been in talks with a label, not a bounce label, about making the more slowy pumping stuff, and I sent him this tune. And he went, I like it, but it's too fast. And bear in mind, this is 140.
Yeah, understandable.
And I was like, right, well, what's your BPM range? He goes 128, 132. I was like, yeah, I can make something like that, no problem.
Hey, I'll talk to you off pod about something, but I think I know who it is. Okay. Anyways, so you've got started going to the nights, and that we've got off on a tangent, obviously.
Yeah.
Talking about medicine and talking about producing tunes and fucking all that shit. But you started going to the nights, right? I remember driving down to Bolton for combination.
Yeah. I think it was a birthday event. I think. All I can remember is it had a blue flyer.
Yeah. Right, and I remember seeing the lineup thinking that's going to be a good lineup. That, but I didn't know Bolton was a spot for bounce. So I knew it was back in the day, but I thought. And I got there and I was like, yeah, it's still not a spot for bounce because it was
dead.
It was like there was 20 people there, maybe 25 people, and with the lineup that was on there as well, I remembered like seeing the lineup thinking this will be fucking good.
Yeah.
Like
that's like I wanted to go.
And I went in and I was like, I think I can't remember who was on at the time. It might have been, fuck knows. I can't even remember off the top of my head. But and then I got bumped into you, and you're like, it's put name to face, had a crack and stuff like that. And I was thinking, he's sort of right into it. He knows like he's more underground shit, and like you were talking about artists, and I'm like, yeah, he'll be all right, sort of thing. I'm sure I'll be seeing him around the sort of circuit at some point.
Yeah.
And then from there, and I've never seen you for a few years after that.
Right, last time I said to him before actually. Last time I seen you, you wouldn't have seen me. It was when Cerner was playing at Domain, and you did warm up. I think it was Cerner. It was one of them. It was one of the Spanish lads was over for Farrell, and it was at Domain. I'm guessing.
And I never seen you.
No, you was on deck.
Oh right, okay.
And obviously at Domain, it was fucking up in the heavens, aren't you?
Yeah, right.
And the only reason you was on is because your fucking name was on the.
Oh right, okay.
thing.
Who were you there with?
I can't remember.
That's fucking got a puzzle.
This is when I was going events all the fucking time. So
I've done a Cerner event, but I wasn't on warm up that night.
I don't know if it was warm up, but it was early.
Could it have been Raul Soto?
Yeah. It's one of them.
Is it? Was it the summer event? Was it? I remember being outside for that.
No, he was in the main room.
Oh no, it was the main room. Yeah, but I remember they had the pre-party outside.
Yeah. Because Nicky B and John were playing tech house outside.
Right. Oh yeah. So this was there.
Yeah, it was a summer one.
Yeah, they're right. The summer party that was good. That. Do you know something? I didn't realise there was no disrespect to the lad either as well, because obviously he seems to be doing all right now. But I remember when I got on and I was playing and an MC came on, and I'm thinking, who the fuck's this? Like, not to be rude, but like, I'm like, because obviously there was no MC on the warm for the first sort of half hour. And he was playing, and all of a sudden he was coming through the headphones, didn't realise there was a mic turned on, and out like that. And then he's there MCing, I'm thinking, I've never seen this lad before in my life. And it was MC Keo.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, oh, never, and this is the first time I'd met him, and didn't really know.
I think that's when he started popping up, because I only know this because I think I used to have the CD. He'd done bits years and years ago in and around Preston, then he fucked it off, just started going to events.
Right, okay.
And then that's how he kind of got into it, and obviously now what he does with BTID and whatever.
So yeah, he came on, and I had no idea who he was, and I think I talked to him after the set, and I was like, so because he was hyping the crowd and that up and that, I was like, sorry mate, what's your name? And he was saying, oh, Keo, blah blah blah. I was like, nice to meet you. And then I think I just started seeing him out and about after that. But before that, I was like, he got on and someone was emceeing. I was like, I don't recognise that voice. And I was like, obviously you were saying you're up in the heavens. I looked over and I didn't recognise him or anything like that. So I was like, oh, I'll just carry on, whatever. That was a good event, that, by the way. Fucking quality.
I can't remember. Like I say, the only things I can remember is walking in when you was playing. And it was a bit of a weird crowd because half of it was outside. There was like 4 different rooms on. Yeah. And then like John and Nick playing tech house outside. That's all I can remember from it.
Oh, right.
But what year was that?
That was 2016.
Right. Yeah, I just started getting into DJing, man.
Right. So, what was the catalyst for you to get into like DJing? Like, so you've been a raver for a couple
of years, and then it literally the overdose. In fact, do you remember Dino Lamano from years?
Yeah. He
used to go fucking everywhere. He always used to.
He was always at the front of the thing, wasn't he? Yeah. I do remember. Him,
I remember seeing a Facebook post that he put. And he was basically along the lines of, I've been going these events all these years, I wish I'd learned to DJ and MC, and I thought
that'll be
I'm going to fucking sound like, and then obviously I was going to overdose events and that, and obviously it's my kind of vibe, and like got good friends with filming and that, and all them, and they kind of took me in. They didn't fucking teach me anything, like, but
Yeah.
I was just like, I think I'm probably, surprise, probably on the Fresh. And I was like, I want to start DJing. And Philbin was like, right, okay. Like, I was like, well, what the fuck do you do? Like,
You knew nothing about it.
no, I
like,
didn't know anything about it. Like,
So did you know like how like bars and beats work out like that? No.
No.
So you came in complete novice and
yeah, like, fuck it, I'm still shit now, like, but it's, I was just literally, like, completely wet behind the ears with it all, and
Yeah.
know how it works.
you knew your tunes though, 'cause I can remember you used to message me sometimes with like a tune, or you'd be like, have you heard this one? And it was like a proper unknown, like sort of not unknown, but like you don't hear many people play it. And I'm like, wow, that's a good tune though.
And
Like
it's-
you sort of knew your tunes.
I'd say, I half agree with you.
Yeah.
I think that's just because I grew up listening to the medicine stuff. Well, I'd say grew up fucking hammered the medicine stuff, and there was always random fucking tunes on there. Like, that's what got me into Spanish. Like them sort of things.
Yeah, but you aren't the stereotypical, because the amount of people who message you going, "Hiya pal, do you know the name of this
No,
tune?"
mate,
and it's
I
like
get-
DD Forever, and it's like
No,
it's a big tune. How do you not know it?
Yeah,
It was
like-
always somewhat undergroundy, and
Yeah, mate, I get fucking, I must get 4 or 5 inboxes a week of someone asking me, like, it's either clipping something off a random mix that I've not even listened to,
yeah,
or something, what's this tune? What's this tune, mate? Oh, Glover, you know what this is called? 9 times out of 10, I know. And it's fuck, I feel sad as fuck about it, but it's like, that's, I think, with me DJing, like, I made a conscious effort to learn the
tunes. Yeah.
and what they were and how they were structured kind of come about with coincide with learning to make music. Because when I first started DJing, I was mixing well out of time. Like, I didn't understand like
Like timings and beats and everything. Yeah.
so I just fucking throw a tune in and listen to this. So,
I think we all started off like that. That's how it is, isn't it?
but like initially getting going, it was like Jen, DJ Angel, Rome and Phil and Maxi B. Them 4 sort of showed me the ropes and that.
Yeah.
In fact, I first met Rome because I'd been DJing literally like 3 months, something like that. I don't even think I had a controller at the time. I just picked up bits,
From
watching,
like everywhere. Yeah.
and then I just messaged Rome out of the blue. It was always I knew who he was from medicine, and I spoke to him on fucking the odd comment, and I was like, yo, because he just started getting back into it, and I was like, yo, like, it'd be good if we could do a mix, like with you, blah. And he was like, yeah, come down. So I went down with my mate. Do you remember Farron? James Farron.
Oh yeah.
DJ Farron. He used to do the
Nice
vintage
lad.
and sank.
Yeah, nice
All
lad.
the time.
Quite a small guy with like.
Yeah.
It was him and his missus used to go to the mall. Didn't they? Yeah.
Right, because me and him were like good mates somehow. Like that's just the friendship that just happened. And then me and him went down to Rome. Obviously I was like, I think I can't remember how it all happened or if the recording still exists, but it's like you can tell when I've gone on. I think I played.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
And I was like, I think I played like 2 tunes like it's really bad, and I was just like gone. I'm not ready for this. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And then just had a night out and whatever, and then like Rome's been like one of my fucking best mates ever since.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't fucking.
So right, I want to get into asking you this because I know you probably follow them, right? You seem like obviously the way we started the podcast with you fucking being in hospital and that last night.
Yeah.
You've got a few stories, right? And you were voice noting me.
The fucking.
You've just got. Go on, you can get into it.
Yeah, do you want me to say the cat one out loud or the kitten one?
If you want to, man. It's entirely up to you.
I've got no problems name dropping him because he's an absolute imbecile, but I wouldn't change him for the world. Myers. Right. I don't think you were there, but he's fucking. I think it was after Antidote, right? We're just in it's silly o'clock in the morning. And I'm just outside having a fag. And Cal's like stood in the garden somewhere having a fag as well. And then just out of nowhere, like Rome and Jen had kittens at the time. And just out of nowhere, Myers just stumbles out the door completely fucked, and he's just got this fucking bottle of rosé in one hand and a fucking kitten in the other. Mate, and bear in mind the kitten's like 2 weeks old.
Yeah.
And Myers just like, "You got a kitten?" And then Cal's just gone, "Myers, put the fucking kitten back now." And Myers just goes, and he's like nearly dropped. He's like, he's like nearly dropped the
Put
kitten.
the pussy down.
Cal was like proper shouting at him, and he was just like, Myers didn't know what to do, and he was like, "Well, I like the kitten," and I was like, "You're twisted. You can't just go around taking kittens as a hostage. Like, you just can't." And it's still one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Do you not think though, being you, right? And I don't know whether fucking Easy agrees or not. Like, you just seem to get yourself into like mad situations.
Yeah.
Is that on purpose?
No.
No, I'm not. It sounds like I'm being a bit
No,
cynical.
I know what you mean.
But like you always seem to you do things what I do in my life, right? And it's just an everyday thing. But then somehow you come out the other end, and it's like, so for instance, I go to an event, I'd come home, I'm like, well, that's a good night.
Yeah.
And then you go, and then something mad always happens. Like,
yeah, it's one of the worst ones when left me teeth in fucking Wales. This literally sums me up, like, and
this is what I mean.
Basically, right, I've got false teeth for anyone who doesn't know, and if you don't know, I don't know why you don't know.
If you don't know, get to know.
Right, and then we've done this event. I've gone back to my mate's session, as per.
Right, no. So what's happened here? Where have you gone to? Where in Wales?
In Wrexham.
Right, so you went to Wrexham, right?
Yeah, went Wrexham. Like, we had an antidote versus Russian Soldiers night. It was a fucking sick night. I just ended up getting a load of beak off my mate, and ended up going back. He's offered like to bring me back up to Warrington, so I was a bit closer to home. But it was the only way getting there was in the back of my mate's van.
Yeah.
Because I'd sniffed up and had a bevy, and I was like, I'm not getting in the back of the van to fucking Warrington from Wrexham. So I just ended up going back to my mates in Mould, I think.
In where?
Mould, I think it is.
Right, okay.
It's up the road from Wrexham, like. And I was just ended up getting proper spanned, right? And then I was emceeing, my mouth was dead dry. He'll back me up. Like, when I'm twisted, I love emceeing, but I don't shut up.
Yeah.
And I was emceeing that, and my teeth, because I'd only just had them like that week, they kept coming loose and it was doing me head in. So I fucking put the teeth out.
Fucking can't get sick to this, so I'll that right
yeah,
over.
So I just did that, and then it come to me going home and that, and then whatever time it was, and I just completely fucking forgot. Right, and I thought like, the worst bit is, I didn't realise till I got home.
So you're at home and you thought, fuck me, where's my dentures, man?
Yeah, which, like, because obviously cocaine makes your mouth numb and whatever.
Yeah.
So I didn't know, and I got home and I was like, I looked at myself at the reflection in the back door of my mum's. I was like, shit. I was like, and then my mum was up, which made it even fucking worse. I was still spangled.
Yeah.
He was like, Michael, where's your teeth? I was like,
Michael, where's your teeth? That's about that.
I was like, yeah, something happened. And then I had to go with that, like, obviously I had to go another week without, I was dead buzzing, so I spent so long without having any front teeth, right?
Right.
I got them that week and lost them that week.
Do you know what the worst part is? In my brain's ticking now, thinking, how's this played out? So, like, Glover's had to message whoever it was. Hiya, lads.
Yeah.
Don't suppose my teeth are at your house. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the way in my head it's played out like that.
Yeah, I think he messaged me, or more than likely put a Facebook status about it first. I'd have done the same, I don't blame him.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I had to go, I had to get a train down the weekend after. Literally just to pick my teeth up.
Class. That is class, mate. Yeah. You come, like I say, it's just one of your things. Like, I know everyone's got stories for days. Like, I always find with like talking to like yours lot, like say like antidote lot or whatever. he's always up to something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But with you, you just go that extra mile every time. Do you
Yeah,
think
I don't intend to though. That's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like I said before. I'm easily led, but the worst bit is I'm easily led by me fucking self.
Yeah,
Like,
you're
that's-
pushing for it. No one else wants to do it. But
Yeah,
we're-
like I'm like how I've not been sacked from Anslow is beyond me. Like it is fucking ridiculous. Like something like I don't even know. Like I never intend for anything. Well, you'd be a bit weird if you did intend for fucking
yeah.
random shit to happen. Like, but it's just I don't know. Like I don't know why it always ends up being me. Like I've got no problem with it. Like,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean. And
Makes a good story, mate.
yeah, that's it. Like, well, that's why I look at it afterwards. Like, what's it? I've seen some fucking proper random shit over the years as well. It's just like I don't even know how to explain it all. Like, it's just fucking part of. Like, I've kind of accepted the fact that I'm a bit weird and I get myself in like these
Yeah.
sort of situations are a part of me.
I think that the owning it's part of half of the thing. Do you know what I mean? You just own what you do. Like, you've sent me messages before, like when we've had a crack, and I think we've maybe talked about something music related, and you're like, if you don't reply, I'm sort of here, and then you've sent me like mad. I remember you were talking to me, and then you sent me something back, and it was like you were in fucking fancy dress, and I was like,
oh, that was for. Was that Antidote last year, Lomo?
Which?
When we done, not last year, the year before, when the Halloween one, when I bought that fucking that kid's witch's outfit.
It wasn't last year Halloween. It was the year before Halloween.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, we did do an Halloween
Yeah.
party this
right,
year.
oh, so you dressed up for a reason. It's just because when out of context, right? I think you messaged me about a new track or something you've did, and I messaged back, and you're like, I might be messaged back a bit late. I think maybe I'd been out of me. And you're like, oh, sorry, mate, just a thing. And then you sent me a picture of you in a dress, and I was just like, like no context whatsoever. I'm like, oh, you do you, mate. Like,
that was literally complete. That was intentional. Like that was completely off the cuff.
Yeah.
Like, off the cuff intentionally.
Yeah.
It was the first proper Antidote booking I had. I didn't even change the artwork to put me on it because it was that last minute and all.
yeah.
That. And then it was this fancy dress thing and whatever. And normally I don't like fancy dress. Like,
Just embrace it, eh?
yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just something about it. It's just, I think it's a bit cheap. Like I like if you see me on the sesh, I'll get like I've got this weird thing about always wearing one of Jen's fucking scrubs
Right.
things when I'm. Well, I used to. Like I don't know why it just looked.
Oh,
Yeah.
send me that photo. I'm gonna put it in over the top of the podcast now. It'll have to go in because
There's another. I'll send you one as well. Like
you sent me
You
one.
got a better picture of it.
What of
That's
me?
so
There's a
bad.
selfie. There's a selfie on my thing. On me, just go on my picture somewhere. It'll be on
In
there.
your uploads,
Yeah.
will it be profile pictures?
Well,
Like,
anyways,
if you just search Michael Glover Antidote, it should come up somewhere.
right, for anyone who's wondering what the picture was, I'll put it on the thing now.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
But as I say, mate, like yeah,
The best
totally
£3.50
random.
I've ever spent that.
£3.50. It looks about £3.50.
Oh, it's a kid. I was just like sorry, butting in. Like I had like no intentions of dressing up or anything. I was just in town, and I thought, somebody just twigged in me. I thought, yeah, fuck it, I'll get dressed up, but it won't be serious.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like I got a witch's. Like I just went in this charity shop. And to be fair, the only reason I went in the charity shop is because it was called Deborah, and I thought, like the way on my head were.
That's the one you're gonna have to send me, mate.
Like I only went in the shop because it was called Deborah, and to
Right.
me that's funny. And I
Yeah.
thought, right, it's got a weird name. I'm gonna have to check this out.
Right.
I went in there. It was nothing. Like I wasn't expecting much anyway. Like, and then I just seen this fucking kid's dress, and I thought that'd be fucking hilarious. I went to thing. It was like £3.50. I thought, what? Like, yeah, I was like, fucking sick.
Have that, son. Yeah.
So I just went. Then I went like the pound shop and got a fucking like a hat to go with it and a wand and stuff. And then when I went, they didn't, like, I had a bag with me, and I just went in a tracksuit to Rome's, and I was like, yeah, I'm just going to get changed here, and no one had a fucking clue. And I was like, I went upstairs, like, took me bag, and then I got changed in the toilet or something. I just walked downstairs with a fucking pair of TNs on, a fucking wig on my head, right? And this fucking kid's outfit, and then, like, everyone walked out, and they're like, "Are you taking the fucking piss?"
Class,
like,
class, mate. As I say, it's just typical you, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, like, I'm really spontaneous. Like, if I see something, it doesn't take me, and it's like a fucking switch. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. That's funny.
I can understand that.
Like, I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I've got a thing for, like, wanting to entertain people or something, or
natural born entertainer, so you become a dong producer.
Like that. No, I was never like that in school.
Yeah,
I was like, in school, I was kind of like, I just got on with everyone.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I was the normal kid who played football.
But I know, but you do it for a bit of a laugh, though, isn't it? You've done it for the laugh, isn't it? Just for the crack, innit?
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. Like, I don't know why I do it. I just fucking, I don't know. I just like random shit.
I don't mean to offend you, what I'm going to say, right? But to me, you always come across as a real life in-betweener. Do you know? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I like that.
As well.
Yeah,
I like that.
No, but do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like if you watch that series and then, like, some of the random shit that they get up to, you would have typecast for that. Like it's fucking mental. Like, you're the person who's punching a fish. Like, do you know what I mean? No, do you know what? Yeah, like.
What about that teeth story? Back on the teeth shit when that day when you came round and when you threw up in the toilet and you come out.
Oh yeah. Right, yeah.
He threw up in the toilet and came back in and didn't have his teeth.
Yeah, that was bad. That was a bad day.
Give us some context of what's happened.
Basically, I used to go, like, there's literally, I don't know how to explain it. Like, all you have to do is say the word "sesh" to me, and I'm like, I'm a bit more calm down now, but like,
bullshit.
I know. To be fair, I am, but like, no, this is like, at the time I lived in a fucking homeless hostel.
Right,
because I was waiting to get a flat. Because when I went into the hostel, like, I did it all off my own back because I knew what I wanted to do. Like, I knew that.
You had a plan, yeah.
Like, I knew I wasn't going to get my own place to live. Like, I knew I had to put myself through the fucking ringer first before they'd come out of it.
Yeah.
And this one day, right, they'd been at a party or something, and they'd all carried on at Rome's. And then they put a video on the group chat or something. I was like, "You all still going, you?" And bear in mind, like, and they're like, yeah. I was like, right, so I'm coming. Right. I've literally got up, got dressed, just gone straight to Rome's, bought some fags and some beer on the way up. Right. And then my mates give me a Gary. And bear in mind, this is like 9:30 in the morning.
Right.
And I'm fucking got up and I had this Gary. I was like, yeah, I'm fucking with the boys now. And this fucking list, I've just like come up to fuck off this Gary. And I've just gone, no, I'm going to be sick. Ran to the toilet, right, and threw up, right, because of how, like, powerful it was. It fucking forced my teeth out. And I was just like, yeah.
He's a fucking Jedi.
like, I thought it just made.
Did you not feel it come out? Like,
yeah, I felt it happen. No, I felt it happen, and
and
I was, I knew it had happened, but I didn't expect it to happen.
Okay.
I just looked at my fucking teeth in the toilet. I was like, oh no.
Did you put them back in?
Have you got new ones now? Because you fall out all the time. Not the same ones. Because I remember when you used to like.
That's
talking to you and just back.
That's because your mouth dries up.
Teeth has a stroke.
I haven't seen you fall out for a minute.
No, I'm a bit better with them now.
Yeah,
them teeth have been through the ringer, mate.
I've ground them all down.
Mastered the art of false teeth.
I've got A-star in false teeth.
Class. Honestly, I'm amazed. So then you've had to pick them out, you're sick in the toilet.
Yeah, literally. But I was just like, I was looking at them in the toilet, and bear in mind I'm rushing me back out at the same time.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, oh no, like, this isn't good. It's one of them, it's like, he knows he's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, for fuck's sake. I pulled them out, like, rinsed them off and whatever, like, popped them back in. And then people was like, have you just put your teeth back in?
Oh,
yeah, and I was like, yeah. And they're like, did they go in the toilet? I was like, no. And like, they fucking did, didn't they? And I was like, oh no.
Didn't
like,
even steroident them.
mate. Yeah.
Class, mate. Class. Like,
Corned beef tea.
class. We're going to move on to part 2 now, if that's all right. This is sort of questions that people have asked.
Yeah.
Mate, I think we could have stories for days with you. So I'm actually going to save it, and I'm going to, as I say, I've said to you, I'm going to come back down, sort of get you all together and do it like that. Even with a beer and that as well, I think it would be fucking...
Oh, fucking
Yeah,
no,
we need an hour or 2 hours
Yeah.
for that.
Might do it as a Patreon special or something like that, so you can be a bit more open as well, so that you don't, because it's behind a paywall, you won't get fucking in trouble out if you tell a story that's maybe a bit much, then it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it'd have to be that one.
Yeah, especially when you've had a drink as well and you come out with some fucking magic.
Oh, yeah.
So the first question is, what was your first childhood memory of hearing donk? And that's from Jordan Lee.
Go combo 4.
Oh, you've already fucking covered that, haven't we? Mine was, I used to listen to my dad was my dad was an MC. I use the term loosely. Yeah, like he used to MC in a place called the Park, like quite legendary fucking club round our end. But he used to MC over like Piano House and Italian and stuff like that. It was more like a hype MC with like dead cheesy rhymes, and do you know what I mean? That type of thing.
You get like his own sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, he used to go to like Fever and that back in the day in Blackpool, and they used to obviously, do you know when you get the squad together and you fucking go whatever. So he was in that. So I was always surrounded by like Italian music. For years and years, and then I think I started going to the youth club when I was about 7 or 8, and I remember going in and we're all playing pool and that, and then someone put Crick CD on, like they had a CD pack, and it was obviously fucking Farrell, Avi, Desire, John, and all that, and I've heard like a donk tune. I'm like, this is heavy. This is because obviously they had a mixture of Italian in there as well. So I was like, oh yes, Italian's on. Like fucking, I know these tunes, and then all of a sudden you get the fucking donk coming in. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is mental.
Yeah.
Like, I love it.
That resonates with me. Like when I was a kid, like I obviously didn't know what the music was or anything, and I just thought like I just like dance music in general.
Yeah.
But the stuff that was on the telly or on the now fucking CD. Like, and that wasn't donk or anything. I think they had Heartbeats on the Now CD once, and that was, I think, as hard as it got, but like that Killer Combo, so I just thought it was dance music sort of thing.
My earliest memory of what I was seeing is, I know I might have mentioned it on the podcast before, but if I haven't, I can still hear it in my head, and I sometimes listen back to it for a bit of comfortable nostalgia, and it's Farrell, and he goes, last one, Keith Capstick, Century first birthday party, and I'm like, that was the first, like, I didn't know what really like was going on.
Yeah.
So I always thought, do you know when you hear like when you were younger, I used to think that it was all recorded in a studio, like you would with a band. So like if you think I thought they've all been in the studio and recorded, and it's only when you start to feel the atmosphere, and then when I heard that, I was like, this is me. This like and. From then on, I just fucking collected loads of CDs and trying to figure out what's what and who's who. Yeah. And that's my earliest memory, but obviously you were saying yours was sort of similar as well, isn't it? Yeah. Next one is, hello Brad, who are your top 3 baddies of all time in TV and film? And that's from Josh B. Random one, obviously. Who's your top 3 baddies?
It's going to be all fucking Star Wars people,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's going to be Star Wars, isn't it?
Vader. Darth Vader.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about my dog there. My dog's called Vader. yeah, but fucking Darth Vader would be in mine, like, because he has to be.
Yeah,
I remember as a kid, my dad was showing me Star Wars, and I remember first time you'd see Darth Vader came on the screen, and I was fucking terrified. You look back at it and you think, oh, what the fuck? I remember seeing it thinking, what a scary motherfucker him.
Yeah, it's
right.
Like,
intimidating as fuck.
They did it. I don't know how much of like the lore and history of Star Wars you know about, or whatever, but they did it all intentionally.
Oh yeah.
Like the guy, it's funny as fuck. Like it's voiceover. Like,
yeah.
The guy who fucking played Darth Vader was like basically casting because he was a fucking unit.
Yeah.
Right. So they put him in the suit, and if you see, I don't know if you've seen the outtakes. It says like, you have the plans for the Death Star. It's not in fucking James Bond. It's like some proper country folk Englishman.
Yeah.
It's so odd. But
yeah, I'm a massive Star Wars fan. Like,
Vader.
so go on, give us your number two. Who's your number two? Can't be Star Wars. There you go.
Fucking hell.
When I got this question, loads came into my head, and then I forgot afterwards.
Yeah,
right. So, some honourable mentions that I'd give out there. Did you ever watch Corrie? Right.
Yeah.
Remember Richard Hillman?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Fuck
Yes.
me.
Yeah.
I used to watch him, right, and I was there, and I was like, "You scary mother," because he came on the street, right. I was a massive Corrie fan back in the day, right. But like, I used to watch it like on a Friday night, whatever. It was like double episode, and I remember that it would be on like a Friday. I might be wrong here, but
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
No, but like it was on a Friday, and then you would watch EastEnders, and then it would come back on for a second half hour on a Friday, if you remember rightly.
Yeah.
I remember that he fucking decided just to tear through the street one night, and he fucking started just killing people, and then it finished, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing.
I think I remember that.
And then like EastEnders were on, but I wasn't interested in EastEnders. I put it on and fucking whatnot, and I was like, oh, I wonder what Richard's done now and shit like that. And he's fucking right, and he's went back, right? Yeah, exactly. Honestly, he was a scary motherfucker as well, because it's like he could be on your street and he's just tearing through everyone. And I remember he battered somebody on with a crowbar on it, and I was like, oh my god, Maxine, yeah.
Wow.
Ashley's girlfriend.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, he was punching, wasn't he? Do you not think he was an ugly cunt?
Have you seen what Harry Bo put? This is proper random, but it kind of relates. Have you seen what Harry Bo put on Facebook the other day? Right, we've got a mate, and he's just proper fucking random, right? He put a fucking screenshot on Facebook. He said, I bet your Google history is not like mine. And he's put what is Ashley P. Cook up to these days. Loads of pictures of him on Corrie.
Fucking mental. And I remember he fucking smashed Lasso's head in as well, didn't he? Emily, the old woman.
Yeah.
And then he put the kids in the river. And honestly, I just remember thinking like, you mad cunt! Like, I'm scared of you. You're a good baddie.
Wow.
I'm trying to think of who else that came to mind.
Right, Sideshow Bob, just because it's fucking
Simpsons, in it.
No, it's just because he's the bad guy, but he's
mentally ill, isn't he?
Yeah, and it's because nothing ever works.
Does he go top 3 though? I just said Richard Hillman for a fucking bit of a crack.
Richard Hillman clips.
Right. I don't know. Like that's more just a funny one, I suppose. Because in The Simpsons, I'm just trying to think. Because I'm not that big on TV or films. I do watch stuff, but I don't. If you know what I mean. Darth Vader, definitely top one.
The Joker's got to be one, hasn't he?
I've never been into Batman.
Loser. Nah, he's just fucking. It's one of them, isn't it? Where it's like evil as fuck. Like he's. Do you know what I'm scared of? I'm scared of people. You see, if you come across as, this is the bad guy. I'm like, not really into that. Yeah. I'm scared of people who are fucking subtly mental.
Yeah. Like, in fact, no, actually, I suppose I like Suicide Squad, so I can resonate with that because the
worst Joker of all time is
no, but he's like in that film.
Have you seen The Joker?
No.
Right, The Joker is a film that it's a must watch, because it's not about like superheroes and shit. It's about it's about a lad going fucking mental. Right. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, he's fucking.
I'll give it a watch.
You should. Next one is I
don't even think we got 3 then.
We named about fucking 5 off there, mate. Yeah. Is there anyone you'd like to add to that though? Any honourable mentions?
I'm trying to think. Can't think.
I used to be scared of Yokozuna, the wrestler, like because he used to come right to the ring, and he was just a big guy, and he used to come with the fucking Mr. Fiji or whatever Fuji, and fucking he used to throw dust into them and he used to jump on them, but it looked like he used to crush their chest because he was a big cunt. So I was always dead scared of him because he never used to like talk or I just used to look at the camera like a fucking mad cunt.
Undertaker was scary as well. I remember when he put Austin on the crucifix.
Yeah, Undertaker
that
was...
scared the fuck out of me. It's like, when I was a kid, I proper believed in it. I thought it was legit, I was only a kid.
Yeah.
So when Austin was my guy, and when Undertaker, like, he was scary back then when he was the Ministry of Darkness and shit.
Yeah.
And when he put my fucking hero on that crucifix, I was like, Austin's gonna die. I swear to God.
I've never been in, like, I stopped watching wrestling when I found out it wasn't real. Right, so...
What do you mean it's not real? Cheeky cunt.
What? Sorry?
Yeah,
you telling me Kane and the Undertaker aren't brothers?
No. Oh shit! No. No, but bear in mind, I was only a little kid. But it was Kane when he had the mask. When he had the mask, he used to scare the shit out of me.
He's
can actually shoot lightning though, Undertaker. That's real.
Yeah. Do you know a real life Kane now scares the shit out of me because he's a fucking mayor of a place in America. And he just puts stupid shit on Twitter, and it's fucking that scares the life out of me. That's real life scary. That his views aren't the best.
Oh, right,
yeah. Next one is this is from Andy Matz. I think it's Andrew Matthews. It's meant to be, but I don't know why he hasn't saved us that. What's one interesting thing about yourself you haven't already? What's one interesting thing about yourself you've already unleashed some belters? And that's from Andy Matz. So go on. What's one interesting thing that somebody wouldn't necessarily know about the glove box?
I don't fucking know. I don't really know. I can see like I know it's just proving I'm not, but I don't know. Interesting. Well, what would you class as like interesting?
Well, I've had time to think about this, and I've got nothing really interesting about myself.
Sorry.
Fucking hell. Ruined the podcast. No, but yeah, one interesting thing about me is I had to think about this on the way down because I was thinking I'm quite bland and boring, but I just happened to tell one of my mates the other day that I haven't had a packet of crisps since 2014, right? Random, I know. Listen. I'll get into it. Right. So in 2013, gaming quite a lot and like fucking FIFA or Call of Duty, whatever was popular at the time. I was playing away. And I remember I'd just passed my driving test, and I drove down to Tesco's near mine, and proper like, you get the munchies and that on. And it was sort of Octoberish, so they started putting the Christmas stuff out anyways. And the big bag of 32 box of Walkers,
the big boxes,
and it comes and you can put your hand in and pull them out.
Yeah.
Anyways, I fucking bought one of them, thinking, fucking get in there, lad. I like my crisps and that, and I've got a big variation. So I got home and I'm just sitting playing on the computer and that, having a bag of crisps, fucking another bag of crisps anyway. And I had fucking 32 bags of crisps in one sitting.
Nice.
Right? Didn't even touch the side. I wonder why I'm a fat cunt sometimes, but then like didn't even touch the sides. And I thought to myself, what the fuck have I just done? I'm there's just fucking bags and bags of crisps next to me, like mid-game of FIFA or whatever it was, and I'm just like, wow. So I don't eat crisps now because in 2014 I got a bag of crisps, and once you get a taste for it, it's same again, fucking thing. So that's my weird thing. I know it's been a bit of a fucking it's been not very interesting, but tell me someone else who eats 32 bags of crisps in one sitting, lad. No one. Fucking no one. Nah. Go on, give me one interesting thing about yourself. You might not have one interesting thing.
Well, apart from the fact I'm really into F1, I've met Mr. Bean. right, because he does. What's his fucking Rowan Atkinson?
Yeah,
he's proper into motor racing.
Right.
And me and my dad. In fact, that's actually interesting. I used to work at racetracks when I was a kid doing the masters. Well, I worked in the paddock because I wasn't allowed on the track. And then obviously we was there every weekend, and they had this classic Aston Martin thing, and fucking Rowan Atkinson was doing it, and fucking me and my dad met him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he signed my dad's overalls.
Fucking hell.
My dad was fucking made up of it. Well, then 2 weeks later, I'm pretty sure it was 2 weeks later, right? they used to have this big thing called the Gold Cup, and it's like a big, massive, historic event at Holton Park.
Yeah.
Right, and I'm fucking met and got my overall signed by Jackie Stewart, who was like a 3-time world champion in like the 60s and 70s and all that. And he's partially why the sport, why F1 is so safe now, because he basically pioneered all the safety for it back then. And I met him, my dad didn't even see him. So my dad was like, you fucking blown up me there, you little cunt. But,
fucking Rowan Atkinson went to school by mine. It's a private school by mine. I didn't go there, obviously. Yeah. I'm a poor cunt. But like he went to the private school by mine. Educated in that in St. Bees, just near Whitehaven. So yeah, fucking shout St. Bees. Nah, yeah, that's the fucking. Talking about meeting, like, who's the most famous person you met? Rowan Atkinson.
I'd say probably Jackie Stewart over him.
Oh, I don't know who that is, but most recognisable is probably.
Most recognisable, yeah.
I remember me and my missus were going through Manchester one day, and I'm not up with the YouTube generation or as much as I should be, really, because I'm actually on YouTube now. But I'm not. I don't know the goings on and who's famous and stuff like that. And anyways, I was we're walking through Manchester city centre, and I said, "Fuck me!" Like, to her brother was with us, me and her brother and my missus. I said, "Look at that car there! That's fucking class, that." And I think it was a Lamborghini, right? Yeah. And they were like, "What are you talking about?" I looked over and that. I'm like, "No, fuck the car. Have you seen who he is?" And I was like, "No, I don't know him." Or like that. And loads of people were surrounding him and that. And it was it's KSI.
Yeah.
I know who he is now. Yeah. He's got something to do with the prime drink or something. Right? I sound so fucking stupid asking this, but it was him in his car, and I seen him and I thought, whatever. And that was one of the stories of like, well, I don't really know. I never really met famous people as such. I met like loads of wrestlers and shit like that because I'm into it.
I've met a few footballers.
Aye, but not in the street though. Like
no, they weren't. No, that was no.
So I went to like,
definitely not in the street.
I went to events and then I've got to like do meet and greets with wrestlers and stuff like that. But nothing in the street. I've never like.
Just randomly seen someone.
Oh, sorry. I actually did. I used to live in Scotland. This is a random one as well. Right. Do you follow snooker?
No.
No. Well, anyways, fucking my stepdad just took us to the betting shop in Hamilton. We were there, and we came out. We were going for a Mackey's or something like that. And I was only about 6 or 7 at the time. And John Higgins walked past us. Like,
I know the big names.
Yeah. And my stepdad's a massive snooker fan. He was like, that's John Higgins, that is. I was like, oh, right, like, fucking, obviously I just thought, that's him off the telly. But he didn't think anything of it. So he's got his fucking bet on his betting slip, right? He ran back in the bookie. He's got one of the bookie pens, right? Went over and he signed the back of the bet. The bet lost, obviously, but he got the fucking, met John Higgins and that proper down-to-earth guy, really nice guy. Other than that, never really met anyone sort of famous. I mean, I met Easy.
Well, yeah. No, like I say, I'm like, in fact, I remember years, I didn't actually see him, but I just remember all the commotion on Facebook. You'll remember. Do you remember when that Royston and Drenford played for fucking Everton? He went from fucking Real Madrid to Everton.
Who?
This player, some Dutch player. Like,
what was he called?
Royston Drenford. He's a big black guy. And whatever. And he basically went from Real Madrid to Everton.
Yeah.
And all, like, in Winterford, because it's in Cheshire, well, this is Cheshire as well, like, but it's more near the bits where the footballers live, and there's a big like country path thing called White Gateway, and Peter Beardsley has got an house on there, and a couple of other ex-footballers, and whatever. But this Royston Gentry, he just randomly went into Winterford Mackey's one night, and like it fucking was all over Facebook, and it was just like. It was just proper random, you know what I mean? It was like, why would Royston Drenford go to? Because at the time he was like becoming quite well known as a player. Yeah. Like he was good, and it was just proper random. Like, why is there an ex-Real Madrid player in Winsford?
So what we're going to do is now, if it's all right, we're going to sort of tie things up, mate. because we went through the questions. So as I asked with everybody who comes on the podcast, you're going to get the electric chair because fucking you threw your teeth at someone. I don't know what.
Big boomerang teeth.
Yeah, right, and you fucking knock some cunt out with your fucking peggies, right? And you're going to get the electric chair. They brought the rule back just for you, because you're being a fucking idiot. You've got your last meal, what you're going to have. You can have starter, main, dessert.
Starter, main, dessert, right.
And a bev as well if you want one.
Bev, right. A bev would be a pint of Moretti, beer of
Right.
Moretti. Or a decent lager.
Mm. You get any you want, mate. You're on the fucking death row.
Oh, yeah, true.
They'll draft it in for you, don't worry.
So, or JD. I like JD and Coke.
Yeah, right, okay, right. So,
Dessert.
are you a foodie?
I am, sort of.
Right.
But I don't know. I like food, put it that way. Yeah, for starter.
You don't need to have a starter. You can if you don't
you
want.
said starter, I mean dessert.
Oh no, I'm saying you can have a starter.
Oh,
right.
right.
So if you, what would you have?
I don't know. I don't know. I think.
What is your favourite meal?
Yeah, I'd probably have like. I don't know. Probably some sort of fillet steak or something. Like.
Oh my god, fucking boring answer again.
No, I know it's one of them. Like I like food and that, but it's not like. It's just one of them. I like what I like.
I'd be more entertained if you went. I'd have fillet steak with smiley faces, like something like that.
Who's saying I wouldn't?
No, I'm not saying you wouldn't, but you know what I mean.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, probably just a fillet steak.
Do you not have one place that you go to in like round here where you think, fuck me, that food's class?
No.
Right.
No, I don't really eat out a lot. Like, I'd rather.
What about chippy teas or something like that?
Oh, no, yeah, that's even. But yeah, I'd have a chippy tea.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Better than a steak, innit? I hate it when people just go, I'd have a fillet steak. Literally everyone says it.
Like a proper good chippy tea.
What are you getting?
Fish, peas, chips, carton of gravy.
Nice.
Can of fizzy Vimto.
Right. It's not a bad combination, to be fair.
Probably a battered sausage or something as well.
You couldn't put all that away, mate, I'm telling you.
Fuck, mate, I can eat meat.
Mate, you can fit into a child's fucking Halloween outfit. I doubt that you can put that away.
Yeah, that's fucking 5'10", not I'm built like a rake.
Nah, I don't know, chippy tea's a fucking good tea, innit?
Yeah, it's one of them, even though, like, 9 times out of 10 you're going to feel shit after it because it's just oil. But it's like a really nice satisfaction, like.
Do you know what the best chippy teas you can get out there? No arguments whatsoever, right? Like, it's basic. There is better out there, but just for something like fucking everybody likes it's basic, right? Fucking big chip butty, right?
Yeah.
Right, absolute smothered in butter, right, and like a side of a gravy or a curry, and just dip it in. Fucking, oh my god!
Yeah. Oh, there's wait, when I lived in Winton, there was a takeaway called Chico Land.
Right.
It's basically just a fucking knockoff KFC thing, right? But they used to. I don't know why they call them wedges because they were not wedges. They were basically big fucking clumps of potato.
Oh
like,
yeah, I've seen
fried,
them.
Right?
Yeah,
oh,
they just go through it with like a finger and slice it through. I've seen.
Oh my god, they were the best thing.
They're always dead soggy by mine. They were never crispy. Yeah, so you get like a portion of them, and there'd just be like a pile of tatty. Like the top one would be crispy because it was there, but the rest would be all sweaty.
Yeah, I think that's what they were like. I just know they
Class.
fucking like, yeah, it's like I'd always like on a Friday night, like going out being fucking chaps and whatever. Like, Mum can have £2 so we can get some wedges from Chico Land. Like.
Do you know when we were younger? I don't eat anymore, right? When we were younger, I used to like. I've never told this story either before. So I was notoriously famous with my fucking like friends group and in my area of. As all young lads and that do, right? You get to Friday night. I used to sell like chocolate and that in school.
Yeah.
So I'd have like a few quid, right? And do what everyone does. You go and stand by the fucking shops, get someone to go in for you, and then you get a fucking all chip in £2.50 each to get a tenner deal, and like just like little things like that you do when you're a kid. And anyways, I used to sit like put a tenner aside. $2.50 in from a drink, $2.50 for a bag, and it was I'd have a £5 left for food, right? Obviously, because it's the most prioritised thing. But at the end of the night, I used to do this thing down where I lived in Frizzington. It was like there was a takeaway down the road, I used to have a chippy Chinese Chattanooga, right? A chippy Chinese Chattanooga. I didn't know this was a thing until my mates said, "Brad, are you going for a chippy Chinese Chattanooga?" It was named for me. Right. So what I used to do is dead fussy. So for instance, I used to go to the chippy. So I was properly stoned and steaming as a young lad.
Yeah.
Right. And I'd be like, get the munchies bad. I'd go and get my chips from the chip shop. I'd go and get fried rice and curry sauce from the Chinese, and then I'd go and get doner in a bun from the Chattanooga, and I'd used to just go home with all this big fucking amount of food.
That's proper stoner.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But yeah, and it wasn't until I was at a barbecue last summer with one of my mates who's in the army. He says, "Brad, can you remember when you used to get the fucking chippy Chinese Chattanooga?" And I was like, it unlocked the memory. I was like, "Oh my god, good times."
There was one in Winterford that I like when I just used to smoke weed. Like, I'd always get it. There's a takeaway. It was, what's it called, Morelands. Right. It's sort of in the bottom of Winterford, but they do these things called a cheesy chicken wrap. Right, it's basically 2 or whatever they can fit in the fucking. It's a tortilla, right? 2 or 3 mini fillets, right? Chips, cheese melted in it, and barbecue sauce inside it.
Nice.
But they were fucking massive. Like, when you're stoned, it's one of them things. Like, if you ate it sober or think it right, you'd be like, it's all right. It's a bit filling, but like, it's one of them when you're stoned. It's the fucking best thing ever. Like.
See, right, we've gone from a boring fillet steak to you've actually got a decent taste in food, even though it's shite food, it's good food. Right, we're going to sign off today. So, where can people find you?
Just Mike Glover on Facebook. I'm on Instagram somewhere. I think my handle's just Michael Glover Music.
Right.
Or something. SoundCloud, Michael Glover Bounce. It's the most original name in the world. Yeah, that's it really.
You got anything to plug before you go as well? Any events or any productions? Oh, his new production mix is out now, so go and check it out.
Yeah, I've got a production mix of like pretty much every tune I've made. Well, not every tune, all my favourites that I've made in like the past year or so. But just before I'm just gonna put them all in the mix.
No worries.
I've got loads coming out on Acceleration Digital. I've got a couple of bits out at the minute that seem to be doing alright. I've got releases for fucking weeks. No worries, mate. No worries. But yeah, I've got an event. Well, this will be out after this, but there's an event dropping tonight that I'm booked on. Okay. I'll show you the thing for it in a minute. No worries. You can see what it is on here, by the way, as well. Cause cause why not? Right. Yeah. So that's in. Where is it? I don't even know where. Fucking Burnley, I think it is. All right, is it hidden? Yeah, hidden in Burnley. Yeah. I'll plug it because he doesn't have a fucking clue. I don't. Right, because why not? Hidden in Burnley, and that is it May the 6th? Yeah, how the fuck do you know that? Mate, I've got a fucking good memory. There you go. Have some of that, son. I want fucking commission on that. Yeah. Right, I'll give you the £5, won't we? So you full wage? Yeah. I'm only joking. Nah, just want to say thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed this, please share it with your mates. This is how we get growing as a podcast. Share it, fucking even just put it on your Instagram story or something like that. I'll repost it, give it a little repost and whatnot. Just want to say thanks for listening.